Hey everyone, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home, and today I've got another collection update to do for you. I think I have maybe 20 different titles that have come in over the past few weeks, whether I bought them, whether they were sent to me by viewers, whether they were review copies. I got them from all kinds of different places. I'm going to show them off here. Some of these, as I always do, will get individual reviews, but these types of videos are great ways to just go through quickly what I'm adding to my collection, maybe inspire you guys to pick some of these up for your collection and let you know about some of maybe the lesser known titles that don't get the attention that they may deserve that I'm picking up and adding to my collection that you may be interested in. So before we get started, if you like this sort of stuff, Blu-ray collecting, movies, 4K reviews, home theater stuff, that's my channel. So you're going to like this and you should definitely subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. You'd help us hit our goal of 100,000 subscribers, which we're getting very close to. Now I'm going to jump right into the collection update, and I'm going to start here with a couple of titles from the Paramount Presents line. Paramount Presents, if you're not aware of that line, is an offshoot of Paramount Pictures Home Entertainment. They've released a new line called Paramount Presents, and they're putting out some of their best catalog titles, all with new supplements, new packaging, new 4K scans, or even 6 or 8K scans in some cases, all on Blu-ray discs. So you may ask, why don't these movies get 4K releases? Well, they're probably not the type of movie that would sell enough to justify a 4K disc, but they're still giving excellent Blu-ray releases, and I've been really impressed with their line so far. Now I got a few of them. I have Mommy Dearest with Faye Dunaway. This is kind of a cult classic movie. I honestly had never seen it, and when they sent this to me, they sent a wire hanger with it. Now I understand because I watched the clip, but when I posted on Instagram, I was like, this must have something to do with the movie. Apparently that's a huge part of this movie. It's a really famous scene. I had no clue. I'd never seen it, but I'll be really excited to check this out. It is a new 4K scan with a bunch of special features and this new packaging, which also opens up, as all the Paramount Presents do, with the poster art. Next up from Paramount Presents, I've got A Place in the Sun. This is the 70th anniversary of this classic movie starring Elizabeth Taylor. This also has the poster art, which I will show you here, as well as a new 4K scan, a new filmmaker focus from Leonard Maltin, the critic. He actually does that in a lot of the Paramount Presents titles, and some commentaries and interviews. It's a classic movie. It won 6 Academy Awards. It won the first Golden Globe for Best Picture Drama. It is a very, very well-known movie in kind of classic movie circles, but not one that I think gets talked about a lot outside of those circles, and it's probably should get some more attention mainstream. So really cool that Paramount Presents put that out. I'll be excited to check that one out. It's from 1951. And now from 1975, this is a very interesting Paramount Presents title because it goes head to head with a Criterion Collection transfer. And this is Nashville, Robert Altman's American classic movie. Now this one's interesting because this is a new 4K scan according to Paramount Presents. It's from the original film elements, and they even say on the back, I don't know if this is a little shot at Criterion or what, but they say a 4K film scan of the original elements looks better than ever. And I'm going to be really interested in reviewing this head-to-head with my Criterion version of Nashville. They both have 4K scans. They both have, plenty of pedigree behind them in terms of transfers between Paramount and Criterion's team, and so I'm really interested how each of them turns out. I'm not sure if there's enough interest here on the channel for a full video on that. I'm curious myself. It is a bit of a niche title, but I'll say this: if you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments, like the video, let your voice be heard, and I'll put out some screenshot comparisons and do a quick video comparing this release to the Criterion release. Next few here are actually some purchases I've been making, and I made them through Instagram by chance this time. I've been following a few pages and grabbed a few different titles. First one is Birds of Prey on 4K. I had the Blu-ray. I actually really like this movie. I think it ties in nicely with the new Suicide Squad movie in a kind of different direction for DC, at least when it comes to Harley Quinn and her character, and so I'm really curious if it'll get a sequel, but I upgraded here. It was only $8. This one is still sealed, so that's a really good deal with the slipcover. Picked that up from an Instagram seller, and I'm really excited to upgrade that for my collection. And then a couple really cool ones here from another Instagram seller. First one is Stalker, the Criterion Collection Blu-ray. classic Tarkovsky movie. Didn't have it in my collection. Could have sworn I did, but they were selling it for just $18, which is a couple bucks cheaper even than the Criterion 50% off sale. So I had to grab that, and I actually got both of these, I believe, for $30 total, or maybe $35 with shipping, which is pretty good deals. This is a Code Red title, some more cult horror. I had never heard of this movie, but I read the description, I saw the slipcover, I said, nah, I gotta have it. And it's called Zeder. I think I'm saying that right. It's a poopy. That sounds terrible. This guy's name can't be that. I'm saying this wrong. Puppy? Pupai Avati film? People are gonna kill me in the comments for this one. That guy's name can't be Poopy. Maybe it is, but this is a new HD transfer. It's a supernatural thriller. I thought it looked interesting, and I really love Italian horror, so I grabbed that. $35 for a pair from Code Red and Criterion. Not too bad a deal there. So now I've got a few more kind of random pickups from Arrow Video, Severin, and some kind of more cult horror stuff, boutique type stuff. If you're interested in that, pay attention to these next few. But the first one from Severin, picked this up from the MVD shop, mvdshop.com. It's Jack the Ripper. I love stories about serial killers and true crime, and so this is a kind of notorious movie that came out in the late 1950s, I believe. Let me see, yeah, 59. This guy, Joseph Levine, he put together this movie. Super violent, super gory, over the top, really shocked people at the time. May not shock, people nowadays, especially with all we see on TV and on the internet, but at the time, very shocking, very controversial. Had to pick that one up from Severin. Also from the MVD shop, I got a film here by Sergio Martino called Torso. I saw this recommended in a TikTok video, actually. I hadn't heard of this movie somehow, but I knew I had to have it. This movie, it has a new 2K scan here. It has both versions of the film, the Italian and the English cut, tons of video interviews, and it's basically, this early 70s slasher genre movie by Sergio Martini. So I had to add it to my collection because along with that, just recently, I had actually got the Sergio Martino collection from Arrow Video. So I got this, I started looking more into him, I fell across a TikTok video, I knew I had to have Torso. This set includes, it has The Case of the Scorpion's Tail, Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key, and The Suspicious Death of a Minor. They all get their own individual clear cases here. Here's some of the artwork, and they're loaded with special features. So they have, new 2K scans, original uncompressed mono audio tracks, audio commentaries, interviews with the director, making of retrospectives, visual essays, all the good stuff you'd expect from Arrow. So picked this up because, I thought it sounded interesting, and then I got into that stuff and found out about Torso, and so these kind of go together. And now just a couple more from Arrow. The first one is Blind Beast. It's a film by Yasuzo Masumura. And I don't know anything about this, but it's apparently a relationship. It tells the story of a bizarre relationship between a blind sculptor and his captive muse. It's adapted from a short story, and it's about an artist model who's abducted. She awakens in a dark warehouse studio. The walls are decorated with woman's body parts. Her kidnapper is a blind sculptor. Blind Beast, it's sort of, they say it's erotic horror. Sounded really interesting. Japanese horror is off the wall sometimes, and always love checking it out because it is so off the wall. So Blind Beast, so it's an older movie from 1969, makes it about 50 years old now, which is incredible, but had to add it to the collection. Love Japanese horror. Arrow does a great job with foreign films, Asian cinema especially, but also the Japanese horror genre, and so this does have an HD presentation, nothing crazy there, no new scans, but Japanese audio, some commentaries, introductions, and a visual essay as well. And then last one from Arrow, I grabbed the Brotherhood of Satan from 1970. Classic kind of satanic horror movie. It says here it provides a missing link between Rosemary's Baby and The Devil's Reign, and that's pretty true, I think. It basically tells the story of this recently widowed guy, his girlfriend. They're on a trip to the Southwest. They witness an accident. They go to a deserted desert town. Take it from there. Almost a little bit of like Children of the Corn type stuff, right? But this is an HD presentation, original uncompressed mono audio, brand new commentary for this release by the writers, and actually a visual essay about the Satanic Panic and how the 1970s and all that was going on there. Late 60s, 70s, talking about Charles Manson, big satanic panic. Everyone thought there were satanic cults sacrificing people everywhere. Well, that's how this movie comes about. It was, inspired by that time period, and that's super interesting to me. Like I said, true crime, serial killer type stuff interests me immensely, and so this is right in that wheelhouse. Although it's not true crime or anything, it's right in with that time period of just craziness from people. So now I've got about let's see, 6 more for you, and these are all review copies, various different studios, but I'll run through them quickly. First one is Profile here from Universal. This is one of those movies that tells the whole story through a computer screen. If you saw the movie Searching, it's a little bit like that. Unfriended is another one that plays with that. It's becoming more popular, but this one's actually not necessarily horror. It's a thriller, and it is basically an undercover British journalist. She's on the path of a terrorist recruiter through social media, and it plays out, through her computer screen. So, interesting concept. It's not always, missing people and serial killers and, demonic supernatural horror. That's a kind of interesting play on that. And speaking of demonic horror and supernatural, I didn't even know this movie released. Maybe you guys knew about it, but I had no idea. This is The House Next Door, Meet the Blacks 2 from Lionsgate. I knew the original Meet the Blacks came out, and it was sort of a parody on all the horror movies of the time. Paranormal Activity, I think, was a big parody that they were playing with. These kind of line right up with like the Scary Movie series. But this one has Mike Epps and Cat Williams. I'm trying to see who else is in it that I know. It has Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross, Andrew Bachelor. I think he's like King Bach on TikTok. Gary Owen, Danny Trejo. It doesn't honestly look good. It showed up. I didn't even know I was getting it, but if you're interested, apparently that movie came out. Then literally minutes ago, before I started this video, I just got In the Heights on 4K from Warner Brothers, so I'll be checking this one out. This does have an Atmos track, which should be pretty sweet given the music in this movie and the way that it sounded, at least on HBO Max, which I thought was underwhelming as always. So I'll be interested to check out the 4K visuals and new Dolby Atmos audio here. This one will probably make it into a larger 4K video because I have a few more that I actually have to review. Next up, also from Warner Brothers, is The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. Another one I checked out on HBO Max. Underwhelmed by the presentation there. Really looking forward to this. This does have Dolby Atmos, and it is a 2K upscale, so we'll see how the 4K disc looks in comparison to HBO Max. But like I said, this will probably come in a video with In the Heights, The Conjuring. I'll probably put together a few titles because I've got a lot to get through. And then also here from Sony Pictures, I got Labyrinth, the 35th anniversary on 4K. So this is actually has this pretty cool slipcase and has new digibook packaging, which looks awesome. So I'll definitely be checking that out. I believe this came out on 4K before. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I never got the chance to review it and hadn't picked it up yet. So this will actually be the first time for me watching it on 4K, and I'll do a full Is It Worth an Upgrade review on that. And just a couple to round it out here. I've got Finding You, which is a Lionsgate movie. Again, I know nothing about this, but sometimes they just show up, and so I don't want to be rude and not talk about them, but looks like kind of a romantic comedy type deal. I don't even know who's in it, to be totally honest. I actually recognize one of these guys. He's the dad from a comedy show I watched on Netflix. I don't know. Finding You, that's one. Got this, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Curse of the Shadows, sort of season 2 of the new Are You Afraid of the Dark reboot from Nickelodeon. Just on DVD here, but I'm definitely picking these up. I got a son on the way. I have the first series. This will be a great entry to horror for him, along with maybe like that SpongeBob the hash slinging slasher episode. There's actually some creepy stuff out there from Nickelodeon, but they're really good entries for horror for kids. And then the last one here is from Kino Lorber. It's Apocalypse 45. I love history, World War II, war, especially war documentaries, war movies. This is, it's about the end of the war, so 1945. It has never before seen restored footage and the voices of 24 men who lived through these events. It also includes bonus features with short film by John Ford. He shot at Pearl Harbor, To the Shores of Iwo Jima, which was an Oscar-nominated documentary from 1945, newly restored 6.5K color film. The Last Bomb, about the atomic bomb, 1945, newly restored. Restoration comparisons of this movie, all kinds of behind-the-scenes, awesome World War II footage, documentary footage. If you're a history fan, check this out from Kino Lorber, because not only do you get Apocalypse 45, but you get those 3 short films completely restored, which is amazing. So that's it for this update. Hope that kind of enticed all you collectors out there to buy some more movies. This was a wide range of stuff, from major studio titles to Arrow Video, cult horror, Italian horror, Asian horror. We got some World War II documentaries in here. We got some, movies that I've never heard of, romantic comedies, Nickelodeon, Criterion, Stalker, you name it. I kind of ran the gamut here. This is quite the eccentric bunch of movies, but that's what I love about collecting. That's what I love about my collection, is everyone has the mainstream stuff. I get most excited when I find weird stuff that nobody else has, that I think is going to look great in a shelf and really helps build that archive of movies that I have that, probably 98%, 99% of the collectors out there may not have. That's the stuff that gets me excited as a collector. Mainstream stuff, great. Love a good 4K mainstream movie. Definitely excited to check out Labyrinth and Conjuring and In the Heights, but really that kind of indie boutique stuff is what really gets me excited as a collector. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know it was all over the place with genres and types of movies, but that's what you get when you come to Films at Home. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching this video. I know it's a long one. These collection updates run long, so I'll be quick here. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. Find me on social media. Links are down in the description. I'll also put purchase links for all of these that I can in the description as well, and I'll pin that in the comment. And like I said, if you want to see that Nashville comparison, make sure you like the video. Let me know in the comments. I can bang that out for you guys if you ask for it. So thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and healthy out there, and I'll talk to you guys soon.